Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this meeting of Smiths Falls Town Council for Monday, June 6th. I will open our meeting with our land acknowledgement. On June 6, 2022, we acknowledge that the sacred land in which Smiths Falls is now located has been a site of human activity for over 10,000 years and is rich in Indigenous history. This land is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation. We are grateful to the Algonquin ancestors who cared for the land and water in order that we might meet here today. We're also grateful to the Algonquin people for their contribution in the making of the Rideau Canal, which runs through Smiths Falls. We're mindful of broken covenants and the need to reconcile with all our relations. Together, may we care for this land and each other, drawing on the strength of our mutual history of nation building through peace and friendship, being mindful of generations to come. I've got a couple of announcements this afternoon. I want to first off congratulate John Jordan, our new MPP. I think we're all excited to see some new representation at Queen's Park. I'm not sure when Mr. Jordan will be sworn in, but if he's watching tonight, we're very excited to have you at the helm. We look forward to working with you, certainly over the balance of this term of council and future terms of council. Just want to also mention that Councillor Dwyer had to send her regrets for today. And just a couple of announcements regarding, I guess, life post-COVID to some extent in Smiths Falls. And we're seeing a lot of things happening, and the weekend coming proves to be very busy. Saturday and Sunday from noon until 4 p.m. we have the Spirit of the Drum powwow hosted by the town of Smiths Falls and SFDCI. So we're very excited to see that coming. Looking forward to participation. Rideau Paddle Fest is also back. That's happening from 10 to 4 at Lower Reach Park on Saturday. And I know some people were out. I was one of them, to the Russell Street Night Market last Saturday evening. It's on again this week from 5 to 10, and I think for the next 6 or 7 weeks after that. There's a local makers market. Amber McLean will be performing this Saturday. Definitely, you won't want to miss that. And the Birth of a Movement drag show will be on as well. So it's going to be an exciting weekend in Smiths Falls with all these things happening. And of course, July 1st, Canada Day is only less than a month away. Canada Day celebrations will be resuming in Smiths Falls. Lower Reach Park will be from 11 to 3, be a lot of family fun and entertainment. And then also an evening of entertainment between 6:30 and 9:30, followed of course by fireworks. And I think we had this fireworks display ready to go in 2020. So we're a couple of years late, but we're excited to bring that forward and celebrate Canada Day as we have in many years in the past. Moving ahead, I will ask for any disclosure monetary interest. I see none. We have no delegations. We do have an adoption of minutes, which is with Councillor Brennan, please.
Thank you. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Allen, that the minutes of the May 2nd, 2022, May 16th, 2022, and May 24th, 2022 council meetings be approved as circulated.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Brennan, second by Councillor Allen, that the minutes of the May 2nd, 2022, May 16th, 2022, and May 24th, 2022 council meetings be approved as circulated. All in favor? That's carried. Okay, reports. Councillor Allen, you have a report this evening?
Yes, Your Worship.
Oh, you're back on mute by mistake.
I'm so sorry. In library news, the library board met for a few hours on Sunday, May 29th to review and update our strategic plan. We're looking forward to the upcoming year. The Friends of the Library are having their annual book sale to help fund literacy promoting efforts in the community. Stop by Victoria Park between 9 and 1 on Saturday, June 18th to support the library. And book donations can start to come in and be dropped off at the library before that date. Please, no encyclopedias, textbooks, or damaged books, because we just end up not being able to sell those. So all others though. Friends of the Cat Trail, Cataraqui Trail installed a bench, and I gave that another one of my reports at the beginning of the Parkview development entrance. And Lawrence and I did the trail cleanup, the 5 kilometers that we do. And we met a senior who was sitting on the bench, and we chatted with him about, you know, does he like it being there? And he said that's his walk. So he comes from where he lives in the subdivision to there and back, and that's his walk every day. And we met many people that day on the trail, and glad to be able to be there to help. The art put up a large, very strong garbage container. We've been having a lot of problems on the trail where people put their just their bags of dog poop in these bags and threw them. And so we picked up a whole garbage bag full of that. And we're going to ask people to put their garbage bag in this bin. And so far it's been working, and it will be there and it will be emptied by town staff regularly. The other thing that the Cat Trail Board did was a trail quest, and it was sort of a competition of all parts of the trail. And so at the beginning of the golf course road, beginning of our trail there, it had the hint that a picture of a turtle. And so then you had to find that, and the place where you found it was the area that has the most wetlands still in it, and that's where, from my friend Simon Lund, that's where the Blanding turtles are, and we've seen them there as well. And so it was a great choice, I thought. The accessibility committee met at Independent Grocer, a grocery store that's very accessible, to have our picture taking last week because it was Accessibility Week. And the Railway Museum has their students now working around the clock. I think there's 4, and they're doing a great job. And the high school graduates used the dining car to have their graduation pictures in it. So it was kind of a nice special event for them. And those are my reports. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Any further reports? I see none. Moving ahead with our bylaws, Councillor McGuire, you're up first. This is Councillor McGuire, a face we haven't seen this way for a while, so welcome back.
Thank you. If I can find my microphone here, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor McKenna that a bylaw to authorize an amendment to bylaw 9977-2022, being a bylaw to adopt a flag policy bylaw for the town of Smith Falls. Our flag policy for the town of Smith Falls be received and read a first time and taken as read a second time.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor McGuire, seconded by Councillor McKenna, the bylaw to authorize an amendment to bylaw 9977-2022, being a bylaw to adopt a flag policy for the town of Smith Falls, be received and read a first time and taken as read a second time. All in favor? That's carried. Discussion, Councillor McGuire?
Yeah, so with the construction in front of Town Hall and the Ukraine flag up, we've had requests for other community flagpole flying. So this is an amendment to the bylaw to allow for that. And then I think Councillor Brennan's got a resolution for our next flag that'll go up.
Thank you. Maybe a third reading, please.
Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor McKenna that a bylaw to authorize an amendment to bylaw 9977-2022, being a bylaw to adopt a flag policy for the town of Smith Falls, be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10352-2022.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor McGuire, seconded by Councillor McKenna, that a bylaw to authorize an amendment to bylaw 9977-2022, being a bylaw to adopt a flag policy for the town of Smith Falls, be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10352-2022. All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Councillor McKenna, you're up next.
Thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Alford, that a bylaw to authorize execution of a road maintenance and development agreement with the Corporation of the Township of Rideau Lakes be received and read a first time and taken as read a second time.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor McKenna, second by Councillor Alford, that a bylaw to authorize execution of a road maintenance and development agreement with the Corporation of the Township of Rideau Lakes be received and read a first time and taken as read a second time. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Discussion, Councillor McKenna?
Yes, Your Worship. The far west end of Broadview Avenue is kind of shared boundary line between Rideau Lakes and the town of Smith Falls. And there's been an informal agreement for decades on maintaining that dirt road. With the development going on adjacent to that, new roads will be entering onto that far part of that Broadview Avenue, and it will be paved and upgraded. So our friends at Rideau Lakes Township and the town of Smith Falls staff have entered into an agreement on maintenance of some and all of that road going forward. As once it's paved and upgraded, part of it anyways, will need to be replaced in the hopefully distant future. And so it's best to, they say good fences make good neighbors, good agreements make good neighbors. And so we're happy to bring this forward tonight.
Thank you. Any further discussion? May I have a third reading, please?
Again, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Alford that a bylaw to authorize execution of a road maintenance and development agreement with the corporation of the Township of Rideau Lakes be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10353-2022.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor McKenna, second by Councillor Alford. The bylaw to authorize execution of a road maintenance and development agreement with a corporation of the Township of Rideau Lakes be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10353-2022. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Councillor Alford, you're up next.
Thank you, your worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Brennan, that a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meetings on the 2nd, 16th, and 24th days of May 2022 be received and read a first time and taken as read a second time.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Alford, second by Councillor Brennan, that a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meetings on the 2nd, 16th, and 24th days of May 2022 be received and read a first time and taken as read a second time. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Discussion, please.
This motion just adopts past minutes and enters them into the record of the business of council.
Thank you. May I have third reading, please?
Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Brennan, that a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meetings on the 2nd, 16th, and 24th days of May 2 be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10354-2022.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Alford and seconded by Councillor Brennan, that a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meetings on the 2nd, 16th, and 24th days of May 2022 be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10354-2022. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. As it for our bylaws, Councillor Brennan, you're up next.
Thank you. With this motion, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Alfred, whereas the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Smith Falls support the use of a temporary location for the community flagpole due to the Beckwith Street construction, and further that the council approved the request to have the Shriners flag flown at the Smith Falls Memorial Community Center in celebration of their 150th anniversary and Shriner International Awareness Day.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor, oh, sorry, discussion, Councillor Brennan?
Excuse me. Yeah, this is companion. It's slightly bureaucratic, but I want to highlight the reason that we're flying the flag at the arena because it's the Shriners' 150th anniversary. They do a lot of good in the community, so I'm happy that people are going to see that flag, and due to the construction, this is the best place for it.
Thank you. Any further discussion? No. Moved by Councillor Brennan, second by Councillor Alford, that whereas Council of the Corporation of Town of Smith Falls support the use of a temporary location for the community flagpole due to the Beckwith Street construction, and further that council approve the request to have the Shriners flag flown at the Smith Falls Memorial Community Center in celebration of their 150th anniversary and Shriner International Awareness Day. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. And Councillor Alford, you have the next rainbow crosswalk.
Thank you, your worship. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Brennan, that council of the Corporation of the Town of Smith Falls support the installation of 2 rainbow crosswalks as described as location 1 in report 2022-052.
Thank you. Discussion, please.
This resolution will see a request by Trinity United to come to fruition at the crosswalks at both sides of church at Beckwith. And it is, council is supportive of this, as it again demonstrates how committed we are to being a community that embraces diversity and inclusivity.
Thank you. Any further discussion? It's moved by Councillor Alford, second by Councillor Brennan. The Council of the Corporation of the Town of Smith Falls support the installation of 2 rainbow crosswalks as described as location number 1 in report 2022-052. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. And Wendy, back to you again. You have a busy evening.
Well, it's not that busy. We're going to be finished quickly tonight. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor McKenna. The Council of the Corporation of the Town of Smith Falls received the 2021 Building Permit Statistics and Annual Building Permit Report 2022-84 as prepared by the Chief Building Official.
Thank you. And you've got some discussion highlights to share?
Just this report's required by the Building Code Act annually, and it provides information on fees and costs associated with building permits. In 2021, there were 130 permits issued with 33 new builds and 90 apartments. So certainly we are continuing to see growth in Smith Falls, and we appreciate the confidence that developers and builders have in our town.
Thank you. Any further discussion? I will call the question. Moved by Councillor Alford, seconded by Councillor McKenna. The Council of the Corporation of the Town of Smith Falls received the 2021 Building Permit Statistics and Annual Building Permit Report 2022-84 as prepared by the Chief Building Official. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Before we zip through our formal business, inquiries or announcements? I see Councillor Brandon. Oh, let's go. Councillor McKenna, go first.
Sorry, Your Worship, if Councillor Brennan has something interesting to talk about, like a piece of wonderful trivia, then I would let him go. I had a little piece of trivia, but he looks better prepared than I am.
No, you know what? You go ahead. I think we've got time for 2 trivia today.
Well, it's short and sweet.
Okay.
Okay.
Gladstone Avenue in Smith Falls had that's not its original name. Before it was Gladstone Avenue, it had another name, and I'll give you a hint. There is a street in Smith Falls today with that name, and it's named, it's a woman's name. So I just, if you want to, I don't know why they changed it to Gladstone Avenue from that woman's name, but she ended up on another street. What's the
Lavinia.
name?
Lavinia.
It's Mary's. It was
Oh,
Mary's
Mary.
Street.
Oh,
And then Mary got moved. So Mary's been around. So
Oh, wow.
I always
that's
called
all.
it Lavina.
So
Why not?
that's my little bit of trivia.
Okay,
I
thank
think
you.
in the original map that some family members gave to the planning department, it's spelt Lavinia. I don't know how it got to Lavina, but
Yeah.
there's not very many
Anyway.
women's names as streets, so we'll focus on those.
Fair enough. Anything further before we move on to adjournment?
I did have one too.
Sure.
So we've got time and, you know,
Yeah.
so last week I went to LeBoat had their 5th anniversary, and Your Worship, I think Councilor McKenna was there too. So I thought I'd do a question on LeBoat, and I just wanted to know if anybody knew how many LeBoats there are in the basin. This is 2-pronged, so how many have they got?
Wendy?
I think
Singing
I
it.
read some, maybe 35 now. I'm guessing.
32?
33.
36.
Okay, so my information is this 30. I stand to be corrected. Now, the second part of the question is, what is the top speed of a LeBoat?
8 kilometers an hour. Or 10 kilometers an hour.
My information is 10. It could be, anyway, the internet is funny, but
Is
I
it
will
supposed
say,
to be in knots? Isn't that supposed to be in knots?
yeah, well, it said 10K. So, but I will say that I'm really happy to see them thriving. And on my walk every day, I go through the parking lot, and that's a highlight of my walk because I get to see the license plates of the cars that are parked in the lot. So I've seen Pennsylvania, Maryland, New York, Quebec. So they're from all over the place, and it's just starting. So congratulations to LeBoat.
Thank you. Anything further? No, Councillor Allen, you have the adjournment.
Yes, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Brennan that this council adjourn its proceedings at 5:20 and stand so adjourned until the next duly called meeting of council.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Allen, second by Councillor Brennan. This council adjourns proceedings at 5:20 PM and stands so adjourned until the next duly called meeting of council. All in favor? We're adjourned.